think we won every tournament we joined, and that was both.
So you wanted to make a difference, to be counted, and so you focused.
You focus, but not only in yourself. As I said, you have to bring the team with you. You have to make people be better with your presence. At the same time, they made me better by their presence. So it's a sort of a symbiotic sort of relationship. Where you create a culture of people wanting to push. But I think more importantly, push not for themselves, but push for something else, which is for the school.
Where did you develop that? Sabi mo, well, I wanted to be counted. I wanted to make a difference. Where did that come from? Did it come from education? Did that come from your parents? Did it come from a book you read, a moment of enlightenment na, wow, this is what I want to be? Because this is not in every person. Dito nakikita sa lahat ng tao. You just want to survive. Diba? The others just, come on, I just want to have a happy family. I just want to, I just want to make a living. Where did that come from?
I think it's from the growing up years. I did spend a lot of time outside looking for what I could actually be good at. It's also, I guess, the need to fill in gaps. There's always a need to fill in gaps, not only in your life, but in the space around you, right? And
fill in gaps. Okay, we're gonna have to take a break. Ano ba ang gap, diba, na gustong i-fill ng ating presidente? A gap that he feels TV5 should fill, perhaps, in this industry. Pag-uusapan po natin yan pagkatapos ng break, 9:05 na. Magbabalik po, magbago tayo with our President, Noel Lorenzana. Nagbabalik po, magbago tayo. Batiin po natin basahin natin ang mga pagbati ng ating mga listeners and viewers na watching Magbago Tayo. Wow, gusto kong bagong book, Designed for Success. Okay. Yes, something that we have recently published. Actually, last week lang to. I've been chasing your book, Leading from Being, for a long time, but puro sold out at National Bookstore. Okay. Well, you left your number, 409 last week. We'll give you a free one, okay? Designed for Success. Thank you for texting. Grabe. Gandang umaga. Okay, antay ko pong at more power. Nakikinig po ako every Saturday. Salamat sa tulong mo. Thanks, Mark Tevarda from Carmona, Cavite. Good morning, Panginoon. I'm very happy to be able to watch the show again after 2 months of business trips. My friend has a copy of your book, Leading for Being. She says it's a very good book. By the way, your talk with our mother company, Multicare, moved a lot of employees. Thank you. I don't even know when that was. Congratulations for the new book. I hope I could get a free copy. Thanks. God bless. Hi, we're watching you here in Cotabato City. Regular viewer po me. Good day, Boy Ala. Thank you very much, Boy. How do I join the contest po na magbago tayo through texting? Binibigay naman namin yung numero So I'll ask you another question later. Just stay tuned. Good day po, Action TV. Mr. Averion po ito, San Pablo City. Sir, ma'am, please kindly give me access to Training the Trainers Reload sa Tool for Brothers. Hihingi lang po ako ng tulong. Training the Trainers. T3 pala to. Tool for Brothers. Salamat po. Okay, well, we're gonna refer you to the number of the brothers. Melo Tiso of Antipolo. This is my first time to watch your program on TV. I'm enjoying it. I cannot read all of this, no? But I will read as much as I can. Isa muna. Break muna tayo after this, ha? I'm a fan. Can you give me advice on some inspiration tips to my med reps? 38 po sila. I'll meet them in our semi-annual conference this June 21. Thank you po. Mr. Roche Ruiz, MBA GM of Pro Biopharma. By the way, first unique selling proposition. Okay. Great. Well, stay on and you will get tips from our guest this morning. So, going back to our President Noel Lorenzana, you said na you like it when you see certain gaps. It kind of inspires you to go for it, no? What is one gap you think that we should fill? If not we, somebody's got to fill this gap because you've seen it in your surveying sa mo the terrain.
Actually, I feel...
By the way, the music we're playing are all recommended by you. Yung mga narinig.
I like it. Yeah, I feel it all.
Diba? Mga personal choice po, mga audio natin from Mr. Lorenzana.
I think there is an opportunity for us to actually chart our own path. We're the youngest of the networks, and therefore I think we're more flexible.
It is better to train a child than to repair an adult.
If you put it that way, yeah. And
So bata pa, flexible pa.
And I think we could be relevant to the majority of Filipinos. I think 50% of Filipinos are below 25. Not to say that
Okay.
we're going to focus on them, but if you could take the point of view, if you could take the voice that actually speaks about the future, where it's most relevant, it's for that segment. But of course, it's also relevant for people outside that segment because they're related to those people, right?
This is something consistent
Yeah.
in your personality.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody who knows you, who has worked with you. Sabi niya,
Oh, patay.
Noel is known to get to know the youngest members of the team. For some reason, you're close naman daw to all, but meron kang focus dun sa mga bata. Nakikilala mo talaga. Why is that?
Well, if you look at agents of change, normally it's the young people, right?
Okay.
Because the future is
Tayo
theirs.
agents of status quo eh.
That's right. Well, di pa. I mean,
Hindi pa naman.
Di ba?
Hindi pa naman.
Yeah.
No, left to ourselves, right? What you're saying is if we do not connect with them,
that's
what
right.
happens, we end up,
But it doesn't mean you alienate everybody. You just need to use that power of that group because they will actually have the power to make the change. They have the energy to make the change. And, I mean, the cliche goes, the future belongs to the young, right? So it's a cliche. In the end, everybody's in it. But you need people to walk with you. And normally, that's what happens. When I was in China, I was managing two groups of people.
This is for Unilever?
Unilever, right. There were people 50 and above. They were during the Cultural Revolution, which meant that they felt they missed out on opportunities, right?
50 and above.
Yeah, during that time.
Okay,
Because they were the children of the revolution.
Right,
And they didn't have the chance to actually live their dreams.
Oh, nalampasan na sila ng
And they were
panahon.
catching up. So you
Okay.
need to address that. At the same time, there were the young Chinese who, as we all know, the future, the world's at their feet because China, everybody wants China. So you had to manage those two groups in the sense that you have to give them both hope in terms of what they want to achieve, but you have to do it differently. But you can imagine the pliability of those people who are actually looking forward to sort of, the future of the country is much more pliable during that time. So you have to treat each segment, differently.
But you're talking about the people you worked with, yung mga
Yeah.
katrabaho mo.
Yeah.
So merong above 50, merong mas bata.
Yeah.
Pero sino yung at that time tina-target mo? Were you targeting a specific segment of the market as customers or
During the time, the bullseye was about 25 below.
Okay.
Given our products.
Okay.
Right.
Ngayon ba, I don't know if this is something that you can share, meron ba tayong binubulsay pagdating sa ating magiging programa? So I understand you have to work with people inside,
Everywhere,
adjust.
yeah.
But on the outside, do you have, meron kasing mga kumpanya, they have a program for every specific, segment of the market,
yeah.
May mga hotel chain dyan, iba't ibang pangalan, but when you look at it, it's owned by the same group, no?
Yeah.
So meron silang 5-star, meron silang 3-star, meron silang mom and pop na mukhang, wow, napakamura naman dito, wag tayo doon.
Yeah.
You don't even know it's owned by the same group, no?
Ah.
Because is that something that we're gonna do, or you feel we're gonna focus more on the young and we'll also serve the others in some capacity?
We're a network. We have to be, dapat relevant tayo sa lahat.
Okay.
So, wala tayong pinipili. Dapat relevant tayo sa lahat. Pero, the important thing is, I think you were mentioning about USP a while ago.
Right.
We first need to establish who we are.
Okay.
And we will have different realities depending on the segment that we're talking to. So, first establish who you are.
Okay.
And your relevancy, your how do you call it, the way you talk to different segments would emerge because they have to find something to attach themselves to you. It's like Apple. I mean, Apple is not really just for the young. It depends on, who's
Excuse
using
me,
it.
I just bought my latest iPhone.
Exactly. Well, I'm not saying you're old, right? Because if you're old, then I'm old. But the whole point is they establish who they are. And they're all
Right.
about being different. They're all about design. They're all
So
about
who are we? Ito. From your perspective, sino ba ang TV5? Ano ba ang meron tayo? Sino ba tayo? Wag na natin inkumpara yung sarili natin. Let's compare ourselves to others. Pero sino tayo?
we could be the most adaptive network who could be an agent for positive change. I mean,
Okay. We are the most adaptive, flexible because we're the
we're
youngest.
the youngest, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what's going for us.
Yeah.
Ano pa bang iba I'm sure pinag-aralan nyo na to. What else is going for us? What else is going for TV5?
Well, I can't, I can't really say it in the context of the others, but I can only say that I think we have the capacity to be able to personalize service with our clients, right?
Okay. Saan pumapasok yung grupo ng PLDT? Well, this is something I even discussed with Bong Agustin. You know him.
Yeah, of course.
When he was talking about convergence of all technology. Walang template dito. It's like you're creating it, no?
Yeah.
Where does it come to play? The fact that you've got Signal, you've got Smart, you've got, all these other platforms.
That's good.
Parang tayong chapsuy, papasok natin doon, come up with some brew.
Yeah. I don't think it's chop suey. In fact, I think there's a natural tendency towards convergence, given the fact that we do have the assets to work with. We have the most number of screens. I mentioned that why don't we measure reach in terms of eyeballs? Eyeballs meaning the people who get in touch with our the different groups in the company.
Hindi lang on screen, di ba? But the different screens,
there's mobile phones, there's tablets, there's computers, there's Signal. Let's push it forward. How about the billboards along the highways? So, if you measure in eyeballs and therefore touch points, I think that could provide a big differentiation for us. And it's just a matter of us harnessing it. Yeah.
Comment on what I shared earlier from Dick Clark, that culture eats strategy for lunch. So we're talking strategy.
Yeah.
We're saying this is where we think we should go.
Yeah.
You said this is, I believe, our strengths.
Yeah.
What do we have to do? What kind of culture should we strengthen?
Yeah.
So that it can support this direction that we should go.
Well, let me just step back a little.
Sure,
I've always said culture is not what the CEO says or what the CEO or the chairman says. This is who we're going to be.
Culture to. Ito, yeah. Montreal dyan, ikaw ang culture. Ha? Ikaw mukha ka nang cultured eh. Di ba?
Culture club. Culture is what people talk about in the corridors.
Right.
Because it's people that talk about during coffee breaks, because that defines the fabric of who we are. Even if I stand in a podium and say this is who we're going to be, but if people talk about negative things in the corridor, then it will be a very negative culture. If you bring the people with you and talk about how can we help each other, how can we help the station, how can we help push the ratings, how can we help the person next to me, how can we do this together, then that sort of creates an avalanche of positivity that becomes what we call culture. Right?
How does that happen? How do you get people to start talking about what can we do for our customers? How can we work together? Paano nangyayari yun? I'm sure you have the experience. Maybe you can relate an experience you've had in the past, either in Unilever or when you were with NutriAsia or with Smartware.
Yeah.
How did you do it? Paano mong ginawa yun na i-adjust yung culture so that it would support a certain direction?
Well, first of all, you need the set of values you want to propagate, right?
Okay, so
it
it
needs a
starts with
face.
that.
It needs a face. When I say face, it's not the CEO face. It needs, people need to be able to touch it, bite into it. You need to walk the corridors with it.
You mentioned two things. So you have to have certain values.
Yeah.
So non-negotiables.
Non-negotiable. Which
Have we identified that, or do you feel it's something we have to re-identify and
the leadership is now defining it.
Okay, okay.
Because
so nagsisimula yan sa
Yeah.
ano bang prinsipyo natin? Ano bang
Sino ba tayo?
pinahalagahan natin?
Sino ba tayo? Diba?
Tapos sabi mo kailangan may mukha. Ano ibig sabihin ng kailangan may mukha?
It's the leadership. It's people walking the corridors.
Okay.
Making people feel it. Because the worst thing that can happen is if it's not authentic. Because the moment it's not authentic,
Pag hindi totoo siya, no?
people will just turn around and say this is not.
People who walk their talk but also talk their walk.
Yeah.
Same thing, Which is what you're attempting to do, and I believe people.
Which
got
is
the
why I'm
message.
here. Which is why I'm here. That's right. So
Bumaba ka, hindi naman baba, no? Puntahan mo sila, di ba? And listen to what they have to say. And so it's an exchange, no?
you need to be able to touch it, feel it. You need to be able
Di
to.
ba nakakaano yun? Yung iba kasi sinasabi, pampatagal yan eh. Di ba? I mean, some people say that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, are we gonna have to go through the entire process again? We've
Yeah.
been at this for so many years.
Yeah.
We've got a target and a challenge. MVP called it, no? He's got a challenge, So, do you believe that in spite of what is expected of you, the process still has to be respected. You still have to go through the channels. You must get to talk to people. Di ba pwedeng, saka